because they're being killed, and we don't want to see people be killed. Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, we're supposed to have I guess a G20 meeting there or something. But we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of. But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about. And I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is terrible.
This is for the Americans. If you're not an American, feel free to watch, but please try and get it to the Americans. My name is Bianca van Wyk, born in South Africa, live in South Africa. Today you will be welcoming the so-called white Afrikaans refugees. They are there based on an offer made to them, which I must say was informed by disinformation about South Africa. Now, I've seen a lot of takes on who Americans think they are receiving. Okay, you are not getting successful, professional, white, middle class South Africans that are fleeing South Africa. The people you are getting are the people that believe that there is discrimination against them based on their race. Keep in mind, we live in the most unequal country in the world. We have, for instance, 70% of agricultural land and agricultural holdings are owned by white South Africans. 62 to 68% of top leadership positions in corporate are filled by white males. There is a huge salary disparity between white South Africans and the rest of the population. And there are a number of other indicators which shows you that the story of discrimination based on race is false. Another thing that I wanted to say is that you will get certain so-called refugees that have experienced crime. However, in South Africa, no one is exempt. These people that you are welcoming assume because they're white they should not experience crime. The people most affected by crime in South Africa happen to be black people that live in poverty. So as you open your doors and welcome people, and you're going to get a lot of information and disinformation from these people, please do keep that in mind. Oh, I also would like to say all the best and good luck to the Americans.
Out here this afternoon. The Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security and I just met with this first flight of South African refugees to arrive in our country pursuant to the President's executive order about certain egregious actions in South Africa. The President made it clear that Afrikaners in South Africa who were the victims of unjust racial discrimination would be welcome to come to the United States.
Recovering from the wounds that destroyed his legs.
I was hit by 11 bullets.
16-year-old Edwin Rosales has gone from being partially paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair to getting back on his feet.
All right, I was going to show you more of this video, the stark contrast of really what's going on, and you know, like, because I mentioned Juarez, Mexico, down there, and what's going on down there, and what's going on, you know, in South Africa, if you will, and the refugees pulling in or whatever. So, hey, you know, watch this video on your own time, and you'll see what's going on. You see what the truth is. Shalom. Man, damn. Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, of whom I learn from daily. Each and every day, man. And to water to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, for sending, you know, the elders, the brothers, and the bishops, you know, apostles, you know, to water to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, man. You know, for giving us the understanding, but... All right, of course, you see on the screen here, this brother, beloved brother, Arrows of Indignation, man, be putting up these fire videos. If you Akim and Akwaf don't see what the hell is going on here, and that perfect or that everlasting hatred that Esau Edom has towards the tribes, the prospective tribes, 12 tribes, you know, whether it be so-called black, so-called Native American, you know, so-called Indian. Right, and the speckled bird. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. All these lies, the Hebrew Israelites, the racists, you know, it always comes back to the white man. You know, fuck Esau, man. How about that? That's you know, that ain't how I feel about it. That's how I know about it. Okay, but so you know, what did Trump say? Because they're getting killed and this and that, blah blah blah. Well, we can look up statistics, if you will. See, they own 70, you know, them, what they call them, Afrikaners, right? They own 70% of the farmland. They still living well. Matter of fact, the scripture said he's not in trouble as other men, right? You know, it's like you're spitting like that, you know, if you heard it, you heard it. But, okay, you ever been down there? You know what's going on down there in Juarez, Mexico, with them cartels. You know what's going on, you know, in Haiti, in Richport, Puerto Rico. You know, all these different places where Nero is sending Northern Kingdom, right? For now, you know, so-called brown and black folk, right? Which we know that's a, you know, a falsehood. But, you know, I mean, do you know what's going on down in there, man? Look, there's this movie I watched, and we'll get to some scriptures, but there's this movie I watched called Sicario. It's a really good film, okay? And it was about the cartels and really, you know, what's going on down in there. Now, understand this, that the U.S. government, that, you know, that wicked mountain, right? Man, they got their hands all in that, man. You know, Esau's God is money, oil, and drugs anyway. And it's always been that way. So they got their hands in all that. All right. So what's going on down in there in that movie I watched, Sicario? You know, it depicted, you know, some of what's going on down there in them you know, where the cartels dwell and all that, man. Hey, man, it's Jake killing Jake, hanging up by from street lights, decapitated. All kinds of different things going on for this, you know, for Nero to say, well, you know, they because they're getting killed, and that's why, you know, it's just a cop-out. Because everybody can see it, from the Central Park 5 to the way he, you know, he treats his, well, so-called laborers or whatever. And he stiffs everybody he comes along, you know. He stiffs everybody. This guy stiffs everybody. All right? And he's taking away Edomite jobs, and now they getting all upset. You know, they a bunch of hypocrites. All right? And then what does he do? Accepts a $400 million airplane from Qatar. Make that make sense. Let's grab a scripture. All right, so let's go here. I know this sounds, you know, repetitive or whatnot, but hey, we in these times, man. If the scripture applies, let it apply. When these precepts apply, it applies. They're clearly not in trouble as other men. All right, so you know, hey, when you hear MAGA or whatever, man, you already know. You got to be halfway soft-headed, or just downright soddish stupid to not understand and see what the hell is going on. All right, and that hatred that Esau Edom has. Matter of fact, let's go there first. Okay, let's type this in. Esau kept his hatred Okay, this is total impromptu. And I was just watching that video. I didn't even get through all of it yet, but go here. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Esau kept his hatred. Not Rusal, whatever the hell that was. Esau. There you go. I don't know how it got Rusal. That's weird. And that's not what I wanted either. Slovakia. You know what? I'm going to keep that up. No. My goodness. Esau. There we go. Hey, these computers don't like that word to be put in there. You see, we'll go here. Genesis. Come on. I'm out and about, I'm actually at the plantation, but Genesis 27, verse 41. Esau held a grudge against Jacob. See what that heading says? He held a grudge. And yet this day we're in our captivity. And pursuant to the book of Baruch, the third chapter, we're yet this day in our captivity. We're under the curses. Deuteronomy 28, thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled forever. And that's a period of time. Because we know Jacob is the beginning of it that father with, and Esau is the end. And you can see it circling the drain. But in the meantime, this is what's going on. The phrase highlights the deep. No. Come on, man. There we go. This is, what is this in? Let's get it in the KJV. I'm not sure what that was in. Jacob's deception. Damn it. Why am I not getting what I want? I want Genesis 27 and verse 41. Don't be lazy, just type it in, damn it. 27 and verse 41. Okay? Yeah. Here we go. Genesis 27 verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob. Now who's Esau? Esau is the progenitor of the so-called white man, all right? And the head tribe of them are the Amalekites, man. I mean, them small headers, all right? And Jacob, who? You should know who Jacob is, the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. You're the only ones that have the promises, the giving of the law, the covenants, and everything, okay? That blessing that Isaac had, had given Jacob. Here we go. Because of the blessing wherewith, here it is, his father blessed him, and Esau said in his heart, which is his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And they've been doing that since the beginning. They trick Eve. Esau, the spirit of Esau, tricked Eve. All right, I said I may look it up, but I did. Check this out right here. And we're going to read Psalm 73 too, because they damn sure ain't in trouble as other men. They getting ready to be. See, this bill it has to be paid. The bill has to be paid. You can't just go around raping, robbing, and murdering. And you see, Esau went overboard. You'll have people saying, well, everybody went in slavery. Everybody did this, blah, blah, blah. But, hey, if you're not rooted in the scriptures, understand that the children of Israel are Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's children. He very plainly tells you in several different passages, several different scriptures. He don't give a damn about these other nations. In John, in Second Esdras, in Malachi, you see, in Revelation, it's all kinds of scriptures that talk about, he put by Esau. Let's go here. Okay, just a couple. Again, this is just an impromptu. Who owns the most private land in South Africa? Now, and bear in mind, you got to pay attention to this. Are they colonizers? Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're still proud of it. I'm getting ready to read because of the pride of the city shall be troubled, man. All right. According to a report, white South Africans, so-called white Edomite South Africans, right? Yeah, and that's another thing. They get over here and you think they're going to call them African Americans? You Jakes are simple as hell, man. You just simple, man. Simple as all get out. Anyhow, Edomite South Africans own 72% of the land held by individuals in the country. The ownership of the land as enriched Slovakia in 1913 has not changed. You see that? And it ain't going to change. It's a part of the curses. Yeah, nowhere in the scriptures did it say, go ahead, Jake, go ahead and get your, purchase you 30 acres and a mule, and go ahead and get this. Matter of fact, anytime Jake got somewhat of a leg up, which was really nothing, was crumbs from the table, right? What happened? Esau Edom come in with his blessing and take the shit away with violence. As the scripture said in the book of Micah 2, second chapter. Don't their covet fields and take them by violence? And now they're crying for wine in the streets. Now they worried about their jobs. They worried about their well-being. Well, how about Shem Yahshua is getting ready to show you what your well-being is going to end up? Let's go. The ownership of the land enriched in 1913 has not changed. This data, however you want to say it, tomato, right, highlights the outgoing racial inequality in the land ownership of South Africa. So there you have it right there. I said 70%. This says 72. I was close enough. Okay. Now, do you think for a moment that these Edomites from South Africa, you think they're just going to relinquish the land that they own? Absolutely not. They still going to own it. They're just going to come over here and get what? Welfare. You can't make this shit up. All right. Hey, I saw Apostle Gabar do this too. I'm going to go here. All right. So this is, if you didn't know what the Central Park 5 was, this happened, some time back where some Edomite lady had gotten, robbed and raped in the Central Park. Right. And if you know anything about the history of Central Park, I mean, it's so much to go into. Central Park was owned by Jake, man. All right. And they just kicked their asses up out of there, too. Anyhow, that's a whole nother lesson. All right. Right here, you see this, just the 5 men. Right. The Central Park 5. And they were younger. All right. And they were exonerated. Let's read this. You got Donald Trump or Nero took out a damn full-page article calling for the death penalty for these Jakes, man. You see? You see how he's not in trouble as other men? He was allowed to do that, and yet to this day, he's never apologized to these dudes, and he ain't going to because of that hatred he's got, right? We read Genesis 27, right? Members of the Central Park 5, also called the Exonerated, you hear that? 5 are suing former president, and this must have been a while back then because he's president again, all right? Donald Trump or Nero to defamation over comments he made during the last month's presidential debate, according to the lawsuit filed in federal court on Monday. You see that? The 5, Yusef Salam, Raymond Santana, Kevin Richardson, and Antron Brown, formerly Antron McCray, I guess he changed his name, I don't know, and Corey Wise were wrongfully convicted, you hear what that said, wrongfully convicted in 1989 of a brutal assault on a New York jogger in Central Park. There it is right there. All right, so let's see if we can pull up the article. Let's see, Central Park, the article. Bear in mind, and this is a prestigious, was it New York Times? Let's see, wrong place, wrong time, Central Park. Yeah, that's part of the curses. We in the wrong place. No, we in the right place at the right time. That's absolutely correct. That's 100% correct. Let's see. Post, yep, there it is. You see that signature, don't you? See that? See, they're not in trouble as other men. Donald Trump full page bring back death penalty ad, right? Hey, and this is the same guy is talking about bringing back the death penalty, opening up Alcatraz, taking Mexico and Canada and damn Denmark. Yeah, this dude's crazy, man. He's crazy as hell. He's an Edomite. It is what it is. 1989, that was the year before I was born. All right? So he been at this shit forever. You got it? Let's go ahead and read Psalms. All right, we'll get back to Psalm 73. Let's go to Psalms 10. 10 and verse 1. Why standest thou afar off, O Yahweh? Why hidest thyself in the times of trouble? And what are the time of trouble that's been prophesied to happen that's, we're low key in right now? But it's what? It's Jacob's trouble. A time like it's never been. All right? That's why the scripture says, rise up, ye women that are at ease, pay attention, walk circumspectly. You see what you see right in front of your face what's going on. And that video that the brother had put up is a microcosm of what's getting ready to happen. Remember, America's gathered up all kinds of damn ammunition. He gonna come in like a flood, as the scripture said, because he knows he have but a short time. You see? All these prophecies are coming to pass, man. This is serious. Isaiah, the 19th chapter is jumping all the way off the page. See? Verse 2. The wicked in his pride. Who's the most proud person on the earth? You got it, Esau, Edom. Persecuteth the poor. Let them be taken in their devices that they have imagined. You see? And then we can go to precept that with Isaiah, the 47th chapter. When it says, stand now with thine enchantments, man. Because now all of a sudden the shit ain't working. You look at this thing with Rodney Hinton Jr. and all that, all the tricks they used to do. It's still working on these Edomites because they got that hatred. You know, they don't want to admit whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm straying off here, but there's all kinds of, things happening, or Edomites doing things, running off and busting caps at the Centurion police and all that. They don't get shot in the back. You see? It's high-speed chases. Come on, man. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth in his heart, which is his mind. His heart was his mind's desire. And his desire is to take you out, Jake. That's what's up, man. Okay? All right? And blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord Yahweh adorneth, Salakia. The wicked, though through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High power. See that? Power is not in all his thoughts. And you clearly see it. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not in their thoughts. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. Psalms 49 chapter, man. Come on, man. It's damn B. Won't leave me alone. Anyhow, his ways are always grievous. You see what he said? Well, they're getting persecuted. We got to take them in. Meantime, they own all the damn land. And apartheid just relinquished, if you will, in the 60s, man. People act like that shit was in the 1700s. This is crazy. Let's keep going. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above, out of his sight. As for all his enemies, all right, he puffeth at them. And that's exactly what he's doing, right in your face. In the face. Right in your face, Jake. You know, and you got a lot of damn raccoons out there that's with it. My goodness. Yeah, Alan Parrs and your Dr. Eric Masons and they'll sit down with the damn devil and say, yeah, you are the people. That's right. Brown nosing, man. Yeah, it's bad out there, but it is what it is. And everybody coming up against the Hebrew Israelites. Let's continue. Verse 6. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. You hear that? That's what he's saying in his mind. We're never going to be in trouble. Look, we're the mighty white people, right? Again, Psalm 49 chapter, man. We're never going to be in trouble. He don't have Yahweh Shem Yahushua in his thoughts. Why? Because the earth has been given to him. And he thinks that he has done all these things. He thinks that he pulled himself up by the bootstraps. All right? Honestly, if you go to the word, look up the word welfare, okay, which actually was going on in Israel too, where they would, have enough crops and leave some crops behind for the poor that couldn't eat. Okay? But if you look up that word welfare, who is, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is giving gobs of welfare to the Edomites, man. Let's keep reading. Verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. You see that? There's another scripture said, I shall sit as a queen forever. I will see no adversity. I will never be a widow. Huh? They say this. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places does he what? Murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Boom, there you have it. Let's go to Psalms. Psalm 73 verse 1, Salakia. All right. Truly power is good to who? Israel. And Israel is a people before it's a place. It damn sure ain't the state or the land. No. All right, even to such are as of clean heart. So, you know, in that scripture right there, it told you that it can't be the damn land. You see? How does a land have a good heart? You people are crazy. What Bible are you reading? Verse 2, but as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps have well nigh slipped, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Verse 4, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Yeah, their strength is firm. Yeah, it's firm, but it's slipping away slowly but surely. And the water to Yahweh about Yahweh Shai for answering all the saints' prayers. That we see this. Remember, the scripture goes into it, tell you a man to have joy of his children and live to see the downfall of his enemy. And then we see it happening right front and center, man. Front and center, and that whether that be enemy of Israel, that be Israel. That's why the scripture said they are not all Israel. See, let's go. Verse 5: they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued as other men. That's why you see what. That's why you see them Edomites coming in from South Africa and grinning and cheesing, man. Because they know they're getting ready to get a free ride, you know, like that song. I forget who's come on and take a free ride, you know, that old 70s song. Oh my goodness. Therefore pride compasses them about as a chain, and what violence cover them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They have more than heart could wish. You know, all kinds of second houses, four-wheelers, trucks and motorcycles, you know, whatever. You know, they, as the saying in the world says, they in hog heaven, man. Okay? And they pink as a pig. I'm just saying. Therefore, they set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore, his people returneth hither, and the waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. So they're going to drink the dregs. They're going to drink it all, man. Hell, we had to drink it. And now you're going to drink it twofold. Okay? Yeah, they're going to drink. And here's that cup of they that shall drinketh. Revelation 14 and verse 10. That's the truth. And the truth shall make you free. Damn the gainsayers and everybody else. We don't give a damn about what you got to say. Okay? Either you know the truth or you don't. And if you speak not according to this law, because there is no light in you. That's what's up. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of power, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation, right? And arrows of indignation. That's right. That's some ICBMs, man. Let's read it. It's right here. And he shall be tormented with what? Fire and with brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Yeah, that's right. What they call the UFOs and the UABs and whatever the hell they call it. All right. Those are chariots, and we know exactly what they are. They wink at us. Okay. They show us. Come on. Come on, damn. Oh boy. Satan. There we go. Verse 11. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. Remember, this place Babylon is never going to be inhabited ever again. Ever. It's dungy, baby. It's gone. It's finite. You see that? All right. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. All right. Which is 600, 66. See, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High Power. That's to the best of our ability and the faith of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. So there you have it. All right. They through. They finished. All right. They're finished. So I'll leave it right there. Hopefully this lesson was edifying, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And every chance you get, chant this place down. Kwam Yasharallah and Wa Abai Babal. Boom. Shalom.